call this regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Joshua Basin Water District to order. Today is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, and the time is 5 p.m. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand up. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sound okay? Janice.
I look fat in that picture.
Good heavens. We are working out some technical difficulties here. Please stand by. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. General Manager Johnson, please conduct the roll call and confirm a quorum.
President Doolittle,
Here.
Director Flynn,
Present.
Director Beck,
Here.
Director Jarlsberg,
Here.
Director Short, Vice
Here.
President Short.
Here.
Are there any changes requested to the agenda? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. We will now open public comment. We have this time set aside for public comment on any district-related matter, whether appearing on the agenda or not. We welcome public comment. Please understand that due to the Brown Act, the board is prohibited from taking action on items that are not listed on the agenda, and if appropriate, the matter may be considered for a future agenda. Also, comments should be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the Water District. The board cannot respond to items outside its authority. Do we have any public comments? You haven't received them through another channel, have you, General Manager Johnson?
No.
All right.
Want to indicate?
And we should probably just instruct any online participants to raise their hand if they want to speak.
Yeah. Is anybody online that has a public comment? And if so, please use the raise hand reaction feature in your toolbar. I didn't think all right, hearing none, the public comment period is closed. Moving on to the consent calendar. Consent calendar items are expected to be routine and non-controversial, to be acted upon the board at one time without discussion. If a board member would like an item to be handled separately, it will be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No opposed, the motion carries. Moving on to the action calendar. Next on our agenda is item 7A, which is appointment of new Citizens Advisory Council member. And the recommended action is for the board to review the application and consider appointment to the Citizens Advisory Council, the CAC. Following discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the CAC appointment. General Manager Johnson, please proceed.
Thank you. All our last board meeting, we had Jeff Walter, and subsequent to that meeting, he's applied to be on CAC. So tonight we have him here. And Jeff, if you would take the left turn and introduce yourself to the board, and they will take their turns to ask you some questions.
Okay. Jeff Walter, and I'm fairly new resident to Joshua Tree. We moved here 2 years ago, built a new house up in Friendly Hills, and I thought it'd be good.
All right, well, thank you so much. Now we'll open it up for questions from the board, and I guess I'll just go around the dais. Director Jarlsberg?
I don't have a lot of questions. I appreciate your willingness to participate. I started at the CAC also, and it was a good way to do it. And of course, your resume is very progressive. Very positive also. I'm curious how tall you are. Just
6'7".
Okay, I haven't really seen you standing up.
I used to be 6'8". 6'7".
Ah, due to gravity. Happened to me too. I used to be 6. No, not.
All right.
Anyway, something might come to mind later, but I just don't have anything.
All right, Vice President Short?
So what does a plastics engineer do?
Well, I'm not actually an engineer.
Okay.
I learned basically by the seat of my pants, but I was in recycling. And so what I was in charge of was finding raw material and being able to create formulas to turn it into something that somebody could use in place of virgin plastics.
Yeah.
And in my 38 years, I just learned and became knowledgeable on most of the plastics.
Okay. I was kind of hoping you were an engineer because we have in the water industry, there's a big issue right now with PFAS that's coming around. We don't have that issue right now, but it's one of those things that a lot of people think it's only a matter of time. So
Right.
that would have been some good experience
Yeah.
to have for that. So what made you interested in serving the community with us?
Well, I know, just like you said, that there are things on that that would be really important. And I thought it'd be good for me to be able to put input in and listen to what you folks have to say.
Okay, that's all for me.
Director Fluen?
Well, we have a resume here on page 13, so that's all self-explanatory. The fact that you're here, you were at our last meeting and you're here now. I think we swarmed you at the end of the last meeting, trying to get you to be more involved in the water company you've succumbed. But yeah, I'm very happy that you're here. And if your wife wants to continue to come to the farmer's market and yell at you, that's okay.
Yeah. She said that she met a couple of you. Which two did she meet? You and oh, okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, so in other words, you've got spousal support for this.
Yeah, my wife is very active in lots of.
Yeah, super. That's all from me. Thank you.
Director Fick?
Okay, I see here that, well, Salem, Oregon, I'm originally a Portland, Oregon person, long ago, 1952. And Bachelor of Science, Urban and Regional Government. That is interesting. We're sort of on the frontier of regional and urban government here because we interact with our urban government, which is the county, and the regional is us, Joshua Basin Water District. And we have different worlds sometimes. So,
Right.
So you'll probably be learning a lot and you'll probably be able to tell us a bit.
Yeah, well, that was a new program at Willamette University. And I originally wanted to get into politics, but then there's something about the late 60s and early 70s that kind of turned me out to that.
Oh. Okay. Okay, well. Yeah, I can understand that. My wife was busy in late 60s politics quite a bit.
All right.
I'm very happy that he's wanting to be on the CAC. And I think the CAC is a very healthy CAC now, as opposed to about a year ago, it was a marginal situation. We'd since put on about 3 or 4 different people. So I'm happy with it now.
All right, I have a few things to say, and then I will also call on the CAC Chair, David Creo. So thank you so much for your interest. And what do you think is the biggest problem facing JBWD? Have you figured that out yet? We need to know. Could you tell us?
And I would say I don't know what the
Okay.
biggest problem is. I've been on the water tour and I was interested in everything that was going on. And what I see for the future is monetary, which is true of most water boards because of what's coming down the pipe with the new regulations.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
Yeah,
Yeah, have you been on a board before? Have you?
I've been on 2 national boards
Oh.
in the plastics.
You're always welcome to give this board feedback. We'd always appreciate hearing it. And then you said you were interested in politics in the past. Are you interested in politics maybe in the future?
Possibly, yeah. It's possible. I don't, the way our area is set up is all new to me. I've always lived in cities and, cities, counties and states. And being in a unincorporated area, I'm not really sure where you would fit in and what you would be able to accomplish. All I know is what I hear from people in the community about what they think about Yucca Valley and what they think about 29 Farms. So I'm not really sure,
All right.
but I just thought it'd be good for me to get active and try to contribute. That's all.
Well, we really appreciate that. Citizens Advisory Council Chair David Correa, do you have anything to?
First of all, I'd like to say welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And number two, these are open arms. Thank you for taking the time to look us up. Thank you for being interested in the water that we all drink. It's very important to us as long as and our children also. And if there's no water and there's no community, and so we need all the support we can get when we get into new tanks and figuring out how we're going to forge through these crazy mandates that we've got to get through. So we look forward, and I would say thank you for joining. If I could, I would encourage you all to say, but I think he's let's read my resume. He's a strong person and we need somebody in here that we need your brain. That would be great for you to join. Thank you for choosing us. Thanks.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the Citizens Advisory Council appointment of Jeff Walter?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion passes.
Welcome.
Eric,
Thank you.
I was wondering, are you gonna be able to stay for the meeting tonight?
Oh, of course.
Oh, good, good, because I think you'll find it interesting.
Okay, so next on the action calendar is item 7B, which is also related to the Citizens Advisory Council. It's a discussion of Citizens Advisory Chair legislative trip, and the recommended action at the conclusion of the discussion is the CAC Chair to accompany district representatives on a March 2026 Sacramento legislative trip. General Manager Johnson, go ahead.
Very good. As you know, we are working very closely with Rojas in our legislative advocacy. And we have a Washington DC trip coming up next week, and then Sacramento following the second week of March. And in the past, we have brought our ACAC members to several of our different trips, and we haven't done it in a while. And I got talking with Chair Carrillo, asking if he'd be interested, because it would be good to have that perspective as well when we meet with our legislators. So essentially what we're asking tonight is to include our Chair, David Carrillo, on our Sacramento trip.
Are there any comments or questions from the board?
Sure you don't want to go to DC with us next week?
All right, so
They drop everything.
Director Jarlsberg?
Yeah, that's actually good. How long have you been on the council now?
Up here.
I think it's been about 7 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was just curious. It seemed like a while, but
Mhm.
have no sense of time anymore. Yeah. Also, speaking of politics, we do get involved. And that we have an opportunity this year, obviously, to do some real intense advocacy on our behalf. So I'm grateful that you're willing to go. I've gone to Sacramento many times over quite a few years. I can't remember, my first one was back in the 80s when I was living in LA. But it's really a interesting process. I wonder, have you gone to Sacramento on behalf of any issues before?
Not on behalf of issues, but on
Okay.
my own, yes, but not as a group or representing anybody or anything.
Okay. So look forward to it.
I do look forward.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's all.
Director Flowen?
Well, I know David fairly well. He's a frequent attendee of our farmers market. It's more noticeable when he's not there. He's there so frequently, and as we all know here, that he's a frequent flyer at these board meetings too. He's a well-spoken guy, and I think he would honor us if he would attend some of these more significant things like going to Sacramento. It's not a new thing. We've done this before with representatives of the CAC going places, at least once anyway, that I can recall. So Yahoo, enjoy the flight. Are they flying? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, good. No, me.
Director Fick, do you have anything?
I'm in line with agreeing to have him come along with us. I mean, that I'd be on email if we want.
No? Vice President Short, anything for me?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, I'd just like to say, I'm the chair's fan. I've actually written him a fan letter, an email before, and I just think that we are incredibly lucky to have him. And I've told him before, and I'd like to say it out loud, that every time he speaks up in a meeting, he's asked something that nobody else has considered and says something really makes a great contribution. So I know that he'll continue to make that contribution in Sacramento, and he'll do us proud. And I'm really glad that he's willing to go. So hearing no more board discussion, and I don't think there are any comments from the public here in the boardroom or online. Oh, Kathleen?
Speak on his behalf, not as the public, but out in the public representing Joshua Base Water District. He has his finger on the pulse. He really does. And I've heard him interact when we get really busy and he's there, and Tom, Director Sloan, is there, and we are very busy. And he will not even flinch with some of the water questions that come up. And I have 2 ears, so I'm kind of listening in to make sure, but he's always spot on. He has his finger on the pulse of our community. I think he's an excellent choice of the CAC, not just because of his title, but he has put the hours in to learn. So I'm 100% behind that.
All right. Is there a motion to approve item 7B for the CAC chair, David Carrillo, to travel with district representatives on the March 2026 Sacramento legislative trip?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
General Manager Johnson, a roll call vote, please.
President Doolittle,
Yes.
Director Flowen,
Aye.
Yes.
Director Johnson.
Yes.
Lead Fisher.
Yes.
Item 7B carries unanimously.
Thank you.
All right. Continuing on to agenda item 7C on the action calendar, which is a legislative outreach letter from the JBWD board, and it's presented by General Manager Sarah Johnson. The JBWD staff's recommended action is to review the draft legislative outreach letter, to provide edits or direction as appropriate, and to authorize the board of directors to sign the finalized letter for distribution to identified legislators and regulatory officials. I'll now recognize General Manager Johnson for presentation of the item.
Very good. So on the same topic with Rojas Public Affairs, we have developed a letter from the board to go to our legislators who were visiting and those that were not. If you recall, the CAC, along with Kathleen, put together a letter, and it's also behind the board letter in the packet for your reference. And with their hard work, they were able to obtain almost 200 signatures, local community folks that are supporting the district's endeavors in trying to obtain funding and any regulatory relief. We have received numerous emails and calls from legislators appreciating the work or the effort in the letter. They said it was one of the best efforts they had seen. We've heard that on a couple of occasions. So it was effective. This all ties together with our upcoming Washington trip, our upcoming Sacramento trip. and the letter writing campaign and the meetings that we're having on Zoom with staff, they all tie together. And everybody in this room has participated and you will be participating to some degree. And they're hearing us, so squeaky wheel gets grease. So the letter here is for the board's review. And if you have any edits that you want to see or not, you can make those motions and we can get this letter prepared for you for signature. Sooner the better. I know that Director Flowen and VP Short today were in a meeting with me with Rojas on planning our DC trip. And they heard, I think, loud and clear that time is of the essence. We're in a really short time frame. And these legislative matters, they tend to be a hurry up and wait kind of game. So we're kind of in the hurry up piece right now.
Thank you so much, General Manager Johnson. Now's the time for board discussion, edits, comments. Direction is appropriate.
I think it's good. I mean, we could get nitpicky on some things, but I think it's good.
Thank you.
I think it's, we can't let the good get in the way of the perfect here. So I think we just.
Yes, that's wisdom.
All right. Thank you, Vice President Short. Anyone else? Please let me recognize you. Thank you so much. Director Drawsberg.
Yes, I'm really grateful that we're doing this at this point. I think it's about time. And certainly worth what we're investing in as far as time and money. I haven't really had a chance due to a number of reasons, but to devour it as far as looking for titles. And I would encourage you to do that before it goes up. Just look at it. Somebody else that hasn't seen it before, look at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think it should be perfect. And, you know, without little obvious flaws that can kind of detract from the content, you know. So anyway, otherwise, I think it's great that we're doing it, and I sure hope it brings results, obviously. That's it.
Thank you, Director Drawsberg. Director Flowen, Director Fick,
I'm happy with it.
Director Fick. Okay, Director Flowen.
Is the Community Advisory Committee, the CAC?
Council is the
Council.
CAC. Yes. Is it state committee?
Committee,
Okay,
yeah,
we'll fix
there's
that.
one.
Fix that. Thank you.
And we talked about using the term council instead of committee specifically a while back.
It used to be called committee and it's changed to council, so sometimes that still gets.
This-
Yeah.
Sounds good, and nobody would know the difference, but it's good enough, but it's not perfect.
Is there just the one?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, search. Search.
Do you have more?
It's on line 2.
Do you have more?
No, that's.
I know, so just a second.
I don't see it.
Okay, so wait, I'll get to in a second. Let me finish with the board. So I just like to have a question of President Doolittle here. In the first sentence, you capitalized Chromium 6, but then in the other sentences, Chromium was not capitalized. So I'm just wondering if that has to do with, is that something should it be capitalized everywhere or not capitalized everywhere?
I would say it should be capitalized everywhere.
Yeah, because at the bottom of the page it is. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I think it's a good letter and I agree with my fellow board members. I'm glad that we are being active with our grassroots advocacy and also with our professional advocacy. CAC Chairman David Creel, you have something to say?
Yeah, along with Tom's, I mean, it says Community Advisory Committee. It should be citizens.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm on the same thing. I don't want to think it's somebody else.
Is there a motion to approve item 7C with the requested changes, the legislative outreach letter?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion, second, is there, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 7C carries. We will move on to the next item, which is 7D, the C2B reservoir recoding. So the staff recommended action for the board at the conclusion of this discussion is to authorize the general manager to execute a professional services agreement with Ardura Group Incorporated for engineering services related to the C2B reservoir, AKA water tank, interior recoating project in an amount not to exceed $34,759 and to execute all associated documents. I'll now recognize General Manager Johnson for presentation of the item.
Very good. So you should be getting used to this, we have all of our tanks. The diving company comes out and dives all of our tanks and they make repairs where they can, and they make recommendations of what tanks need to have rehab or recoating. As you know, right now we're in the E21 reservoir rehab project, and this one is the planning portion for the next one for next year. So you should be seeing this every year. Hopefully in the future, this will be presented by a director of operations and that's me. When the C2B tank was constructed in 2001, it's 24 feet tall, diameter of 199 feet. It's in our sea pressure zone. Ardura is who we use for the E21 tank engineering services, RFP process, and now construction support. And we are proposing that we use Ardura again to support us in the engineering portion of the C2B recoating project. David, you have anything with that?
No, just that we found out that these recoatings lifetime is 10 to 15 years approximately. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a graphic that has all of our tanks and when they were recoated. So then when we all retire, we can pass that information on to the next wave of staff so that they know timelines of when they need to be done. Yeah, so.
I think this is an example of our operational maintenance getting done timely. You're starting to see this on a more consistent basis. So this is business as usual. You're going to see this for wells in the future and obviously for our reservoirs and any other maintenance items. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Yes, anyone? Director Fick? Oh, Director Jarlsberg?
Oh, no. I'm just curious where this fits into the size of it. It looks the diameter of 200 feet is pretty big.
This
isn't
is
it?
one of
This is one of the bigger ones.
This is the largest.
The largest.
Large,
one.
okay, I think I've
Yes.
seen it.
If you've
I
been
call
on
it a
the-
skating rink.
If you've been on the tour, you've seen it, and
Yeah.
pictures don't do it justice. It's massive.
Yeah. What's the smallest one? Do you know?
Is it big?
Yeah, it's the one.
Up the hill there?
Yeah, we can find out.
I'm just curious about the range of sizes and, and then where is this? I mean, I kind of know where it is because it was there, but
Yeah,
For
it is
others.
on the north side of our district. Belmont would be the cross street, and you head out on a dirt road on Belmont, heading west.
I can help with that.
Yeah.
If you go,
Director Flowen?
if you go up the two earthquake faults on the way to the elementary school, once you get to the top there,
yeah.
if the road is at 12 o'clock, well, that tank is in plain view at about 11 o'clock is where it is. You can't miss it.
Yeah, it's just north of my house.
yeah, I was wondering who it was serving, what part of the community they were serving, or is it a storage, more storage?
Okay, it's in the C zone, which is our largest zone in our district, and it serves a lot of customers. I have a pressure zone map that I can share with you, and we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Meetups,
Okay,
but
that'd be cool.
I don't know the exact address.
Yes, thank you. Okay, done.
Director Fick?
Yes, on the tour, there was equipment next to that. Is that equipment still there?
Most of the equipment is down in the yard now. We've moved a lot of that down here. We have a couple of pieces that are huge, and that area is really nice because we have a lot of land there and it's a good storage facility, and it's pretty much off the radar for most people, which is, not unsightly and more safe.
Okay, so Ardura is going to help with the bid for this project or?
So this is the beginning. There's several phases to these kinds of projects. This is the engineering. They have to get the spec and design ready for the recoat. Then there's an RFP to get a company to do it. And then there's the award. So this is step one in the process.
And would the company that's currently doing the E2 possibly be in line because they already have the equipment here and such?
Well, this will be done next fiscal year, then the E2 one will be completely done
Yeah.
before this one gets started. So we'll plan next fiscal year's budget to actually for the recoat itself. This is just the engineering design piece. So they'll be long gone from E21 by the time this one's ready, and they'll be welcome to bid on it.
Thank you.
Director Flowen?
So this isn't, I don't know, I'll use the term, this isn't a patch job. All of the existing coating has to be removed. And then it's gonna be recoated, is that what it is?
That's basically.
I think there's something in here that says there has been a lot of patching of that tank already.
Yeah, so those tank divers that come in, they do patch work. And that limps us along for a period of time until the tank divers say no more patches, you need a total recoat. So you patch for a while you can, and while it's economical, it makes sense, and then you do the recoat.
Okay. Is the Buffalo still up there?
It's a good question. I think the answer is yes, but I have not been there to see it physically recently.
If I may, some of you don't know what the Buffalo is, but that's a water bag.
Semi-portable
Yeah.
water tank that we use at construction sites. And
Not an animal.
legend has it that Kenny told this, I'm not sure that tank actually provides water for the tank that's up on the hill. Because I guess some of our customers they're at a higher elevation and we have to have the elevation of the tank above them in order to gravity feed. Well, okay, that's still true. So is that tank that's on the side of the hill? I forgot the number of it, but is that going to be on our schedule for a redo also?
I don't know where that one lands on the priority list, but we do have a priority list. So every year we'll be bringing back the same kind of thing, and hopefully it's one at a time, but we have 17 tanks. So, yeah, there may be a year where we need to plan for, a couple in that year.
So I'm looking at, on the staff letter, I'm looking at the conclusion area in the middle of line 3. It says pursuant to section 3.3B. I was assuming that was in the strategic plan because of the number that's listed below here in the strategic plan is a somewhat similar kind of a number. 2.2.
Actually, the purchasing policy, and I didn't clarify that. That's my.
Yeah, I'm wondering, when I look in the strategic plan in that through section 3, I can't find anything that sounds like what you're using this for as justification. I looked in the admin code, it didn't make sense either.
What's the purchasing?
Purchasing policy, or it's also called bidding policy.
And something called purchasing policy.
So typically, depending on the type of work, we would go out to bid for these kinds of jobs, but the purchasing policy or bidding policy allows us to not have to go out to bid and use an already vetted vendor essentially. And so that's what this is referring to.
I don't have any problem with that, but it's
Not clear.
I didn't know where to look to verify that, which directors want to do. That's all for me. Thank you.
Vice President Short?
I got
Okay.
nothing.
All right, President Doolittle here. I appreciate that this work is getting done and that it's being scheduled and there's a priority list. This kind of stuff needs to be done, this maintenance. And it's important. I recognize also that we are using this company and they're going to be helping with the RFP and the specs, the project specifications. I'm wondering what the project specifications are related to the materials that is the recoating. What's in the recoat? What's that made of? And I imagine we state that we don't want anything that would contribute to PFAS, right?
Yeah, anything that is going to be of toxic nature is we exclude it. It's very specific of what is allowable in there. And our juror is very articulate in making sure that the RFP has that information.
So does that mean it's like a ceramic coating? Because any kind of plastic is going to degrade. So that's why I'm wondering.
I don't know the answers to that, but we can get it.
All right.
It's a special policy that cures inside the tank.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. So yeah, you'll let us know what's in the epoxy. All right. Hearing no more board, Director Jarlsberg.
And that just brings to mind, you're saying the life of these recording projects in 10 to 15 years. So that indicates some degrading of the interior. So something is sloughing off them.
Well, it's the
To have
metal
to-
of the tank.
Pardon?
The metal of the tank rushed through the epoxy.
Oh, that's the word. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Remember, a while back, I showed you a video of the inside of a dive tank?
Yeah.
You can see, it's pretty cool. And I can show you that again. You'll see how, that process works.
Yeah.
Hearing no more board discussions, it doesn't appear that any members of the public here in the boardroom or online have any questions. So do we agree, or are we all in favor to authorize the general manager to execute a professional services agreement with Ardura Group Incorporated for engineering services related to the C2-B Reservoir Interior Recoating Project in an amount not to exceed $34,759 and execute all associated documents? Do we, all in favor? Say aye.
I,
Second, do we need seconds?
Well,
Oh, I thought this is one we discussed ahead of time.
We still need a first and a second.
Oh, all right, okay. I thought
make
this
the
was a
first.
voice vote. Yeah, thank you. Is there a motion?
It's quite complete.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let the minutes reflect that item 7D carries unanimously. Item 8 on our agenda is director reports, comments. Now, this time is reserved for director reports and comments on matters within the district's jurisdiction for informational purposes only on subjects not covered by the agenda. Please note that the opinions expressed by individual directors do not necessarily reflect those of the board as a whole or district staff, and no immediate action shall be taken. Director reports, Director Fick?
I don't have too much to report as far as water wise. I had a very busy schedule for the last 2 weeks and I'm recovering from a cold, so here I am. And I have been politically involved, but it doesn't really involve water.
Thank you so much for that. Vice President Short?
I didn't attend any other meetings besides the one today where we went over the DC trip coming up. I'm hoping that next board meeting we have some positive news to bring back, but I hope the people can see this, that we are going out, we are trying to get this funding, and we are leaving no stone unturned to make sure that the people of this community are taken care of. I'm actually looking forward to it, strangely. This is kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, is to be here and put myself in positions like this. So I'm excited for it. And like I said, I hope we have some good news next board meeting. That's all for me.
Director Flowen?
Well, I think Jane is going to report on the Landers meeting. And this last weekend, I went out to the Copper Mountain Mesa board meeting and broke the news to them about all of this chromium-6 stuff and the cost and the things that we're trying to do about it. I fielded a lot of why don't we do this and why don't we do that? And I did the best I could with some of that. Is it easier to just make a whole bunch of tanks to put the state water in rather than putting it in the ground, things like that. But I was impressed with the fact that they were involved. They were emotionally invested in the situation, and I will certainly attend. I think their next board meeting, and do any follow-up that I need to do. That's all from me. Thank you.
Director Jarlsberg?
Well, I did have a busy couple of weeks. And I seem to have misplaced some notes, but on the 5th of February, the day after our last board meeting, I attended the TAC meeting virtually. And there were 2 workshops, and it actually was a fairly extensive meeting. Always, I find it interesting because it's really nuts and bolts of what the MWA does. As I'm recalling, they had a not slideshow. That was another era. Whatever it's called now.
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint presentation on dams of the Mojave River, which was fascinating. And I think I thought I would send a link to the not just the visuals, but the actual presentation, because the visuals don't really explain like the person that was making the presentation. But I thought I might have sent it to Lisa, but maybe I didn't. I would like to, just so that other people could see it. It's very interesting. It covered from all the way the top of the mountains near Big Bear up to Barstow. And it followed the rainy season and how the water dissipated at various points. It was just really fascinating. I think it's something that people should kind of have an idea about. Also, I think at the kind of related at the Landers Homestead Valley Association community meeting. Marina West presented the Mojave Water Agency report as well as Bighorn Desert, and mentioned that the tours for the MWA are scheduled for September 16th, which I want to go. So put it on your calendar now if you want to attend, because they sign up pretty quickly when it goes public. And I think that might also cover some of the area that the TAC meetings cover. And then the next week, I attended a Monday night, the Landers meeting, which was very informative also. I learned from Marina West one thing, that she's getting ready to retire. And the other thing is that they were doing the maintenance of the hydrants, and they have about 550 plus hydrants, which I thought was quite a big number for about a third of our size is. But I think it's because they are so far apart, communities so far apart, they need more hydrants to reach everybody. And let's see, but then on Tuesday the 10th, the day after the Landers meeting, I attended the mobile office meeting of Obernolte, who Laura, his assistant, who is also, interestingly enough, the person that handles immigration for him, and she lives in Adelanto, where Laura Villa, Villa, is the immigration caseworker, field representative who comes to Yucca Valley and the other small towns where these are held. And because I was the only one there, I had about 20 minutes with her and very thorough conversation about different things that the district was interested in. And I think it was very useful. They give you a little tiny sheet here with like 2 lines to fill in what you want the interest that you have in it, not adequate. So she was making notes while I was talking. And so I'm hoping those notes actually made it to Obernolte. I did report briefly to General Manager Johnson about that meeting. I thought it was very fruitful. Do you want her card? Sure. Thank you. And I'm really hoping that we have actually get to see him in Washington. And then on Thursday, the 12th, I attended the MWA meeting also, which I won't go into. It was pretty pro forma, not that exciting. So I think that was all I did.
Was there?
No, you didn't.
Right, time for my report. President Doolittle speaking here. Just a couple of things to follow up on. For those who don't know, Obernolte is our congressman. And then TAC means Technical Advisory Committee. And that's a committee that's run by the Mojave Water Agency, which is our wholesaler. And that's a good meeting to go to. I'm glad to hear that Director Flowen is being the public face regarding Chromium 6. at the CMC board meetings. This is a difficult topic. And you've heard me say it before that the board is the public facing arm of the district. And I think this is really where we're going to need to step up and communicate about Chromium 6 and what the good work is that the district is doing. And also to reassure the public that the district is working on this. So I would just like to encourage all of board members to look for those opportunities to interface with the public and reassure them about what's going on. I wanted to let you know, some of you may be wondering about what's getting done in my one-by-one meetings as president with the general manager. I can tell you that the last meeting on February 12th, I came to the meeting with 20 items to discuss. I had a whole list, and we were able to get through all of them. About 6 of those discussion points I have tagged to return to when we prepare for a board retreat. Some of the other ones came out of the 2-day governance class that I had finished last week. And that governance class was outstanding. I asked many questions related to current board activities. It's taught by our current GM and also a board member of different organizations. And I understand General Manager Johnson and Director Jarlsberg had taken a class with him before. I learned that the strategic plan, work plan should be reviewed quarterly. I discussed this with the general manager. I also learned that questions that the board asks, that when we submit questions to the staff prior to a board meeting, those questions and answers should be shared with the entire board. And I believe that's going to happen going forward. Another thing, if you look at previous meeting pages, you'll now find supporting documents on the website, such as the septic to sewer kickoff minutes I've requested to be shared. They are now on the website. My thanks to the general manager for her enthusiasm and patience as we explore ways to improve transparency and board relations. At my request, you'll also find an updated staff flow chart in your inbox. We are also still discussing how to handle complex topics, perhaps at the committee level. And we have a map of the tank locations. We discussed that coming our way soon after discussions with the general manager. So at this time is agenda item 9, general manager's report, which is for informational purposes only on subjects not covered by the agenda. No action is to be taken. Please, if any director has a question during this report, make a note of it and hold it until the end. General Manager Johnson.
It's been a busy beginning of the year. We're already planning for things in August. I can't believe how quick this year is already by. We've been knee deep in financial management. David as well, we're leading the charge on Ridgeline and all of the financial planning that we'll be bringing to the board in March 19th. And we'll have a workshop to look at the 10-year overlook of all of our finances for the next 10 years for the district. And it's been a deep dive, and we spent a lot of time, and really, I mean, the most, but you know, we've all participated, and we look forward to that meeting, and you really can see, you know, the district's financial future. In addition, we have been meeting with the legislative team nonstop, planning for these trips and preparing for the meetings, providing information for earmark letters, and you name it. Just because we hire a consultant doesn't mean they do the work. And they do, I feel like very strongly we got great consultants, but they can't do the work unless we provide them the work. So there's a lot of effort and, you know, a lot of additional pressures that we're not used to because we haven't had these types of consultants before. So there's a lot more work that's happening. We're also working on budgets, and we've kicked off the budget meeting with staff. So we will be bringing that forthcoming very soon to the board in workshop format in May. We have begun the process of developing an RFP for I'm kind of changing the name here a little bit, but a water master plan / CIP plan. We really need to, if we're looking at financial future of 10 years, we need to be looking at what our costs are for all of our maintenance and operations going forward. And I told you we have the tanks on the schedule, but everything needs to be on the schedule so that we know when their maintenance is due and we can plan for it forthcoming in budget. Tours have been officially scheduled, district tours. Those are going to be on April 20th and 21st. More information will be forthcoming, but Kathleen's been And David has been working with Lynn Lines to get the bus secured. And if you're interested, when we get ready for signups, sign up quick because those seats do fill up fast. We've met last week with the offices of Ochoa, Bow, and Wallace, had excellent meetings with both of their staffers. The Wallace office was very open to our Chromium 6 issue, and we look forward to maybe them really giving us the helping hand that we need. All of this again is helping us for these upcoming meetings that we have. If you remember in December, the Morongo Basin Pipeline Commission was formally dissolved and the board signed that dissolution. So now the MBAC, the Morongo Basin Advisory Committee, has been formed in its place, and that's staff led, and they've asked me to be the chair for that committee starting this year. I've not chaired before. I've sat in this chair, but I'm a chair, so a lot to learn there. I believe that sums it up. There's, I'm sure, a lot more, but that's my report for tonight. Thank you.
All right, we'll now move on to item 10, agenda item. Director Jarlsberg.
Can we ask questions of her report?
I looked at you, sorry. I didn't see that you had one. Please go on.
I was wondering if there's any way that you could send us your report in writing.
We're going to talk about that in another meeting.
There's so much there, it's hard to,
I understand.
until the minutes come out, you know.
Yeah, I understand. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We have been talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll now move to agenda item 10, which are agenda items requested by the board. Directors may request items to be placed on the agenda, which will be recorded on the future agenda items list located on the page following the agenda. And these items will be scheduled as time permits. Please note that in agenda planning with the general manager, I am as president looking for slots to schedule these items. No action will be taken today on requested items. Directors? Hearing no requests? Oh,
Yeah.
Director Jarlsberg?
Yeah, I was just thinking, you mentioned the board retreat. Do you have a sense of when that might be happening, or should we put it on this? I don't know.
We will put it on the agenda. I would imagine it would come after the budgeting, or it could come before then. But we can certainly put it on there to discuss. I think what I'd rather do is just poll you to get together and talk with you and see when we think what might be best, and then I'll bounce it off with General Manager Johnson as far as when it could be scheduled.
I think it'd be good to have it on this list. That way we don't lose sight of
Okay.
it. And then when we can schedule it, then we'll get it scheduled.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something I've been interested in for years, so I'm happy to hear the word.
Director Pick?
So we have questions on this future agenda items.
No, it's just to add things to it.
To add things.
Mhm.
Can I embellish on something that's already been added?
Okay.
The sewer project updates. I'm still curious to have one person in the county who knows what's going on, come here at that lectern and tell us what's going on.
General Manager Johnson?
I'm in the works with the county, trying to get someone to come to that lectern and tell us what's going on.
Thank you.
The one person that knows.
Probably work.
Oh, yes.
Just,
Director of Administration, David Shook.
thank you. Can I get some clarification on number 6, the cap reevaluation? How can I help?
Director Fick.
Yes, that's the one I brought up, and that's because this lady had her huge water bill. And that's gonna have to take special treatment. And then also, if her huge water bill went through the system that we currently have, it would completely deplete the 12,000. So there should be a cap to it, and I suppose we should increase the 12,000 to something like in the realm of 20,000. But yeah, that needs to be visited. That's on the back burner because you people are working on it now.
Yes.
And we'll wait until you get back to us on that. So that's, I wouldn't say it's on the back burner, but it's near the back burner as compared to the sewer project update.
The board will now adjourn to close session for item 11. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54957B1, which authorizes a closed section for the performance evaluation of the general manager, we will return for a report out in open session. Let's reconvene in session, and then I just open it up. The board has reconvened in open session and we have a recommend action, but first board discussion.
Vice President. Ford?
Okay.
Vice President Short.
So I conducted the general manager's review. I was head of the ad hoc committee, and I just wrote a brief statement that I would like to read on the general manager's performance. This year, the general manager delivered in big concrete ways. Operations stayed steady through staffing gaps, major compliance work kept moving forward, cost recovery and contract savings were pushed through, and recruitment and restructuring efforts kept building. Those are real hard-won victories for the district that makes a difference. But what stood out to me is the cultural shift that drove this progress. Changing workplace culture is difficult work. It takes consistency, tough choices, and stubborn people willing to stay with the hard work long enough to make real change take hold. That kind of change is not quick, and it is not always visible from the outside. But it is essential if we want lasting results. Because of these successes, I believe in the direction of our district, and I believe we have the best general manager in the Morongo Basin.
Any other? Director Fick?
Okay, a slight accolade for this board. I've been accused of being a historian, and I've been seeing these boards for the last 37 years. And I think, not that I've been on closed sessions with the other boards, but I think there's been about 3 or 4 times or eras of good boards, and this is one of them. We get along quite well. We do not have major arguments going on. And from what I've seen, we work quite well with our general manager, and I'm very impressed with our general manager. Thank you.
Me?
Director Flowen?
Yeah, I've been around for long enough to have known and observed, I think, 3 other general managers. And they were all quite functional. And they did a good job, but they did not have to experience some of the things that Sarah has had to experience, along with the board too. And I just think we are extraordinarily fortunate that we have had Sarah here in the position that she's in during those hard times that we had. And it's a justification to be optimistic that we're going to have a good future too. She has a command presence. She's presence. She is very articulate, and I always appreciated when I was sat in this chair and I was the president of the board, the corrections that she would make when I would have an oversight of some kind, and I always appreciated that. It was all about simply doing the right thing. It wasn't about one-upsmanship or showing off or anything like that. I found that she's very receptive when I was president of the board with what I had to say and my opinions, but she was comfortable enough and strong enough to give me corrections and give me her opinion too, which I benefited from. So I couldn't ask for more in a general manager than Sarah. Thank you.
Director Johnsbrook?
Director Sloan has reminded me that I have experienced some other general managers also, and who were functional, but didn't seem to respond to requests that seemed logical. And I appreciate that you respond to the board. But I also wanted to say, I feel the board has grown over this process too, over these years, under your tutelage and So I think we've all, I mean, I look around in the room and I'm just really delighted to be here. Sorry. Really, I love what you said. It came out of your brain. That's great. So what? I'm sorry. This position is important to me personally. And I'm really happy to be here and I appreciate that you'll hang in there, hopefully.
Yeah.
And get through it, whatever we're needed. And I love living in Joshua Tree. That's why we're all here, I think. We love this place and it's important that we take care of it. Thank you.
All right, President Doolittle, in the past, I've prepared remarks, but somehow I forgot to do that with everything that I'm doing, just getting ready for a meeting. But I just want to say that I believe the board, and I know for myself, has the highest confidence in our general manager. And she just gets better every year. And I just want it to be clear to any public who might be watching this at a later date that I myself can't speak for the board, but I'm sitting up here right now that we have the utmost faith in her leadership. And I like what Director Flowen said, her command of a situation, which we've seen over and over again. And I really believe that the district is in good hands now and going into the future. And we are extraordinarily lucky to have Sarah Johnson as our general manager. So, okay. So,
Just gonna say
oh yeah, General Manager Johnson.
truly appreciate the remarks and I truly appreciate my team. And now I'm gonna get tearful because I couldn't do this without every single person here and the board. I know it's challenging to be a board member. I've not been a board member, but I try to put myself in your shoes all the time. And you have to learn everything that you have to learn in a much shorter amount of time than we get to be in it day to day. And I appreciate the efforts that, each of you put into this process, but then to all processes. And I'm looking forward to, the future too. I'm excited for what's to come. So thank you. Thank you to Ann, David,
Yeah.
Dave, Kathleen, Lisa,
Yep.
and much of our other team members too.
Thank you.
And newly Jeff.
Oh, definitely.
So the board's recommended action coming out of closed session is to provide a bonus of 10,000 for General Manager Johnson. I am accepting a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
President Doolittle.
Yes.
Director Flowen,
Yes.
Director Fick,
Yes.
Director Jarlsberg.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
The motion passes and is unanimous. Thank you to staff, directors, council, and members of the public for your time this evening. With no further business before the board, is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh, David has something.
Oh,
I have the information on the epoxy portion.
oh, okay.
So this is a cold-applied epoxy coating, all interior surfaces of the reservoir, including ceiling, floor, interior shell, and structural steel shall be coated with the epoxy coating described herein. The first coat is a primer, Nemex Series 94 H2O Hydro Zinc, which is a single component moisture curing, to be measured at 2.5 to 3.5 mils DFT. DFT stands for dry film thickness. Second coat is called a stripe coat. That's Series L140 Potopox Plus at 2.0 to 4.0 mils DFT. That's a potable water coating. The finish coat is Series 22 Epoxyline at 20 to 40 mils DFT. This is made specifically for concrete and steel for submersion in potable water.
Director Flowen?
And that gets inspected too. There's tests that are done on that to see that those specifications are specifically met too. Thank you.
Yes, Vice President Short?
Is this what we've used on other rehabs in the past, or is this a new product?
That's an excellent question. I am assuming that we have not
Okay. All right.
used this quality product.
So once again, with no further business before the board, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned at 7:32 PM.
Have a good night.
And color.